Hey, make sure you guys stick around. We have a wonderful singer-songwriter for you next on Views and Vibes. Welcome to Views and Vibes, everybody. I'm your host, Tariiq Omari Walton, and we have a phenomenal show ahead for you today. Today in the studio, we have a great performer, singer, songwriter, and producer. Please, everyone, help me welcome Miss Chaquis Maliq.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Great to have you on here. And tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're from San Francisco. You're raised in San Francisco. You know, so what was that like for you in terms of your musical influences? Was it different out there than you see here in D.C.?
Yeah, it was different because I grew up in church, so I grew up around a lot of my family on both sides, musically inclined, whether it be the choir or playing an instrument, and my father sang in a gospel quartet group.
So you were destined to be an artist then?
If you say so, I couldn't sing as a kid.
Okay,
so.
But you did other things. You did poetry?
I did poetry.
Okay.
I started poetry in high school.
Mm-hmm. And what started you out on that? Did you just need an outlet?
No, teacher had us do it for an assignment, and like that's what brought it out. And then after that, it was sort of a wrap after that.
Okay. Was it actually the writing that you were excited about, or was the actual performance of it?
I guess it was more of the writing. It wasn't really like an outlet, but it was cool because I always wrote songs as a kid, and I've always had like some type of instrument. So learning how to write as opposed to just, you know, a kid making up songs is, you know, it was the way that I started to, you know, have a technique, I guess.
Right. And you started playing piano too, right? At a young age? Or was this a piano in the house, you just played around on it?
I've had a piano since I was like 2.
Okay.
So I still have it, my first little upright wooden piano.
Right.
But after that, I had keyboards. I had a Wurtzler, which I miss. I won't talk about that. I might cry. But with that, I played that every day. But I always made up my own songs. And then when I was about 8 years old, they as in my parents, they put me in piano lessons. Okay. And I hated it.
Really? Why is that?
Because it was an elderly lady teaching me how to play Yankee Doodle.
Wow. I mean, we all have to start somewhere, right?
I was 8.
Oh, well, I mean, and so you should have known Yankee Doodle, you know, and been able to progress from there, right? How long did that last? How long did it last taking that lesson?
I didn't want to do any recitals because the stuff that I played, even though it was made up, as I got older, I figured out that I was doing more of a contemporary jazz and classical thing.
Really?
So then to be, you know, making up that on your own and then go to lessons and you're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb and Yankee Doodle like this.
Right.
You're like, this is boring.
So did you feel like you're already more advanced than that at that age?
I never wanted to play anybody else's music.
Okay, you just wanted to play your own.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So where did the you know, jazz and classical influence come from? If you were being raised in the church and around all that gospel?
TV.
TV, really? Like what? What were you watching on TV that was playing classical and jazz?
I mean, I've heard a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm in San Francisco.
Right.
First of all.
Okay. And so what's out there? What was out there that was influencing you?
Teachers.
Okay.
Like I said, TV. I watch VH1 a lot, so I listen to a lot of alternative, and jazz is everywhere. So.
I mean, were your parents playing it in a household? They weren't playing?
My dad played Earth, Wind, and Fire and all that kind of stuff, but there's still jazz in their music, so. But he only played bands. The only women he's ever played was the Emotions.
Okay, wow.
So that is my excuse for not listening to a lot of women singer-songwriters.
So who else did you listen to in the household? I mean, are you your only child?
No.
Okay, there's more of you. So were your siblings listening to anything that was influencing you as well?
My brother played hip-hop, but it was all East Coast.
Okay,
so
I was about to say, was
I
it
didn't
in the
grow
Bay?
up on West Coast hip hop except for
E40.
No. The G-Funk, I mean, it has funk in it, so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dad played funk, and my brother, like, he played, like, Redman and all that kind of stuff, so I got hooked on those type of people, and then I watched Rap City when I wasn't supposed to.
Wow, nice,
so,
nice. She's rebellious.
The Basement. It's not rebellious.
Okay.
It's just...
That's what you did, snuck away and listened to Rap City. So the kind of music that you were writing at that point, when you were a child, what were you trying to say? You know, what kind of life influence?
I have no idea.
You're just making things up.
Just obnoxious yelling and thinking I'm doing something.
Right.
In the bathroom.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, it was a good foundation for you because now you're writing some fantastic songs that we're actually going to take a look at right now. So make sure you guys sit right here, take a look at Miss Chaquis Maliq.
You to know how much you mean to me. Love is a melody that sings so sweetly, and you are my love. You are my joy. You are my love, and you are my joy, joy, joy. You made the sacrifice to shine on my gray skies. Let me make this plain. I'ma be a shelter through the pouring rain, 'cause you are my love, and you are my joy. You are my love, and you are my joy, joy, joy. You make me smile when I wanna frown. You make me laugh though you're not around. You sweet little thing, you'll always make my day. I get lost, you'll always find a way. You make me smile when I wanna frown. You make me laugh though you're not around. You sweet little thing, you'll always make my day. I get lost, you'll always find a way. You are my love. You are my joy, darling. Yeah. You are my love. You are my joy, darling. Yeah. I'll always be me, and I'll always be free, and I'll always be free to be me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I was
All right, welcome back to Views and Vibes, everyone. You just had a chance to see a wonderful performance by our guest, Miss Chaquis Maliq, and she's still here with us talking a little bit about her background, her life, and her story. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, going from doing the poetry, doing the performance, and, making up your songs as a child to actually writing your own music as an adult. How did that transition happen?
I got tired of poetry for one.
Okay.
Just
Were you still doing poetry when you moved to DC, or did you start?
I still wrote.
Okay.
But I still wrote, but I ended up trying to turn the poems into songs, and that was a
Painful?
difficult task.
Okay. So that didn't work. All right.
Because there's less rules in poetry for the most part. But I ended up going to the first music seminar in DC, and I met a producer. So I used to go to his studio and kind of like steal his beats while he'd be in sessions and try to write to him.
Okay.
But it didn't work out that way because those beats would usually end up getting sold. So then it's like,
couldn't use them
what
at all.
am I going to do?
Right.
So then I was introduced to an independent record label, and I started ghostwriting. So I was writing for another artist on that label. So I would get industry beats, and then I would write to them. So that helped. I left that label, of course. It was not a good thing, I should say.
I understand.
Well, at the same time, it was motivation because, he told me, oh, you can't be a lead singer. Your voice isn't ready for that. You should be, background in writing and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, whatever, dude.
So when did you actually start singing?
Singing?
Yeah. Because you said as a child you couldn't sing.
No, I
so at
couldn't.
some point you transitioned to becoming
I sang in the church choir at some point
Right.
where I led songs, but then when I saw videos when I got older, I'm like, why did they let me do this? It was terrible.
You can say that about all the little kids singing in church. They let everybody do it. Come on up.
But no, it was terrible. But I led songs, and then I tried to sing solos. I ended up singing what's the song Lauryn Hill did on Sister Act 2?
Sparrow,
Well, that,
No.
yeah, I did
I
that.
don't know,
I actually
Sparrow.
had to sing that in high school at,
a talent show.
no, I only did poetry in the talent shows, or I
Okay.
put them together. No, it was a Black History program, and one of the performers were late, and somebody overheard me one time singing, and they were like, you need to let everybody know that you can sing. I was like, no. So they went and told.
And they made you come out and sing?
Yep. So I sang in front of the entire school. I mean, it was fine.
Right.
But, I just did that. But my voice still wasn't where it is now, of course.
And so that came with work. And so all that happened more so when you came to DC?
Yeah,
terms of
because I
focusing
ended
on
up,
singing?
because I grew up mimicking other singers. So I didn't know how to use my own voice. So
Okay.
it's kind of like the Ray Charles and Eddie Murphy thing going on. But, once I did the demonstration volume 1, I was still learning my voice, because even my mother said, you can sing overnight. That's when I knew I couldn't sing.
Really?
I'm like, all this time I couldn't sing.
And so,
So-
now your mother's recognizing that you can.
Yeah, so I mean,
And so the demonstration volume 1 was a sort of a mixtape for you?
I call it my version of a mixtape because people are like, oh, you need a demo. And I'm like, who does demos? Other people still do demos? And I knew a lot of people did mixtapes, and I never liked that idea. And although I knew that producer, he didn't want to help me do it.
Okay.
So I ended up learning how to cut and loop samples. So that is what the demonstration volume 1 is. It may not sound like it to some people, but that's what it is.
So you're actually writing your own lyrics?
My
and
own
putting them over
lyrics and
top of the
arrangements
samples.
and over top.
Okay. And what about Veracity?
That was a heartache.
And was
I
that a
put
full-length
out.
album?
That's a full length. It's 10 songs. It's about 40 plus, I think, minutes, maybe like 42 minutes or
Okay.
something. So yeah, it's a full length.
Right. And what did you do for that? I mean, how'd you come up with that one?
That was no samples except for one song. I had permission from the actual composer. I just wanted to experiment doing my own thing without, you know, having samples. I was learning how to actually do production. So I really did the production for the band that I had at the time, and that didn't work out, but I still wanted to put the album out. So it actually went out in pre-production stage.
Okay, all right. And so now I think it's about time for us to go to her next performance. So sit tight and check out this next performance from Ms. Chaquis Maliq.
Where do we go from here? Now that we made it this far, yeah. You are enough, my dear. Promise to stay in the stars, caught on the wings of a love, baby. And I don't want us to land, no. Keep your heart next to mine, baby, yeah. Together we will last, 'cause we got love. It's never gonna fade away, 'cause we got love. Joy outweighs the pain, yeah, yeah. Love, baby, it's never gonna fade away. Said we got love. Joy outweighs the pain, yeah, yeah. Great is the love we have. I'll never let it go, no, no. I'm glad we chose this path. That God let us down for sure. Caught on the wings of a love, baby. And I don't want us to land, no. Keep your heart next to mine, baby. Together we will last, 'cause we got love. It's never gonna fade away. Said we got love, darling. Joy outweighs the pain, yeah, yeah. Love. It's never gonna fade away. Said we got love. Joy outweighs the pain, yeah, yeah. Said we got a love thing, it will never fade away. Through joy and pain, through the sunshine and rain, patience and trust, God in the both of us. So we know that love is enough. So we got a love thing, it will never fade away. Through joy and pain, through the sunshine and rain, patience and trust, God in the both of us. So we know that we got love. It's never gonna fade away. Said we got love, baby. Joy outweighs the pain, yeah, yeah. Love. It's never gonna fade away. Said we
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
No, I'm not from the moon, but I can lie in your room. It's whatever you want to do. I can make a move without ever counting on you. Hey, what you say? I'm calling my shots. I'm not your...
Welcome back to Views and Vibes, everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. We have another performance coming at the end of the show from our guest, Miss Chaquis Maliq. And she's still here with us talking about her music. And so, since you've been in DC, you've gone from doing your poetry and playing piano as a kid to now playing the guitar. What made you pick up the guitar?
The bass player I had, he told me I had to play an instrument before the year was out, but then he moved.
And so when was this?
This was in 2010.
All right.
It was at the end of 2010. But I didn't really pick it up until April 2011.
Okay. So why don't you continue just playing piano?
It's too much.
You can't just carry it around on your back.
That too. That's what people are saying. I'm like, who's going to carry it for me? I'm not going to always have a team with me.
Right.
And then also, I felt like I was missing out on gigs.
Okay.
I mean, I was told to play the guitar years ago, but I was stubborn.
Okay. And so you finally picked it up in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's that process been for you?
It's been show after show after show.
And that actually happened after Veracity came out, right?
Yeah.
You picked it up after, okay. And so now you're just gigging all the time because you have the guitar in your hand. So how have you been developing that as your art form as well?
What do you mean?
You know, well, you weren't playing it before. You didn't start playing it until 2011, and so now you're playing it. And so you have to become an artist with that. I mean, you're already singing. And so what was that like for you?
I just did it.
Okay, so, I mean, did you take any formal lessons? Or
I tried. That didn't work.
Again, because you didn't want to play about some
attention
music.
span, number one.
Uh-huh.
It was the same thing from when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I really just went to learn how to hold the guitar.
Okay.
So, but it got to the point where he said that I needed a classical guitar because it matched my vocals. It was very warm. And then I quit.
Okay.
And then I wasn't playing the guitar at all until spring 2011. And I just went in. I said, well, maybe I should put YouTube videos up of my progress. So I would just put like a verse and a hook and call it a teaser of whatever that song was. And I started posting on Facebook, and everybody liked my little transition.
Okay.
So I just kept doing it.
And so now you have Harmonies of Me, and
Yep.
you use the guitar, you use the acoustic guitar on that entire album, right? Okay.
Right.
All right, great. Well, look, we're going to have to go now. I know it went by so quick. I told you it was going to go by quick. Tell everybody where they can find out more information about you.
ChaquisMaliq.com. It's spelled ChaquisMaliq. And that is my name on every social outlet that you can think of. Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank Ms. Chaquis Maliq for coming on performing for us and sitting down for a nice little interview. If you want to find out more information, if you didn't get it from her, go to our website, viewsandvibes.com. Until next time, I'm Tariiq Omari Walton, and we're going to leave you with another wonderful performance from Ms. Chaquis Maliq. Take care.
find the time and space, you would be my star. If I could fathom a special place, it would be where you are. Just listen, don't speak, allow me to say what's on my heart. 'Cause you know it's hard for me to let it show. I don't wanna lose you, so I'm willing to grow. If I'm wasting my time, then let me know. Ooh. 'Cause the grass ain't greener on the other side. I just want you right by my side. I apologize when the chips were down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Please give me a chance to love you. Promise not to let go of your hand. 'Cause I need you. This is a forever romance. Won't you please give me a chance? Please give me a chance to love you. Promise not to let go of your hand. 'Cause I need you. This is a forever romance. Won't you please give me a chance? If I could find a way to make peace, you would be my joy. If I could find relief and release, I'd bring it for you to enjoy. Just smell, don't taste, allow my words to cook for you, boy. 'Cause what's prepared is good and well. I don't want to bring tuition away, no. If I do, please take my heart. 'Cause I failed, yeah. And the grass ain't greener on the other side. I just want you right by my side. I apologize when the chips were down, baby. Please give me a chance to love you. I won't let go of your hand. 'Cause I need you. This is a forever romance. Won't you please give me a chance, baby? Please give me a chance to love you. I won't let go of your hand. 'Cause I need you. This is a forever romance. Won't you please give me a chance to love you, to love you, baby, to love you, to